Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. In today's video we are going to explore something really interesting and exciting. Stay with us and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. In the world of coin collecting, certain years and specific coins hold a special place in numismatic history. One such coin is the 1971 cent penny, which, despite its modest face value of just 1 cent, has gained significant attention from collectors and investors alike. Why, you may wonder, does a coin worth only a fraction of a dollar capture such fascination and achieve a value of $135,000 in some cases? Let's take a journey back in time to explore the history, design, minting process, and the ultimate appeal that makes the 1971 cent penny so rare and valuable today. The year 1970 was a time of change in the United States, both socially and economically. The country was in the midst of significant political and cultural shifts, with the Vietnam War still raging and the civil rights movement making substantial progress. The economy was also facing its challenges, with inflation starting to creep up and the nation grappling with a shift from a post-World War II economic boom to more uncertain times. Coinage, during this time, was also evolving. The U.S. Mint had already moved away from the use of silver in many coins, and by the 1970s, copper and nickel alloys were becoming the standard in U.S. coinage. For the 1 cent penny, this meant a shift in composition, as the penny was now made primarily of copper with a small amount of zinc. This marked a significant departure from the earlier silver-based coins, and it reflected the broader economic pressures on the nation's minting practices. However, for the 1971 cent penny, it wasn't just the economic backdrop that makes it significant. The minting process for this particular penny would set the stage for a rare era that would make it highly sought after by collectors. When you think of a penny, the image of Abraham Lincoln comes to mind, and for good reason. Since 1909, Lincoln's portrait has graced the obverse front of the U.S. penny. The 1971 cent penny continues this long tradition, featuring a portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by the renowned sculptor Victor David Brenner. This design has remained largely unchanged for over a century, making it one of the most iconic images in American numismatic history. On the obverse of the 1970 penny, Lincoln is shown in a left-facing profile, his facial features finely etched into the surface of the coin. Above his image are the words, "Liberty," and beneath, we see the inscription, ****, in God we trust." On the right-hand side, the mint year, 1970, is prominently displayed. Brenner's design is elegant in its simplicity, and the image of Lincoln is timeless. On the reverse of the coin, we see the familiar wheat stalks that have been a hallmark of the penny design since 1909. The wheat ears are arranged in a symmetrical pattern, curving around the coin's edge to frame the inscription, E pluribus unum, and the coin's denomination, 1 cent. This design was used on pennies up until 1958, after which the Lincoln Memorial design replaced it. The 1971 cent penny was part of the final year of the wheat ear design before the mint switched to the Lincoln Memorial reverse, which would continue until 2008. This shift in design, combined with the rarity of certain mint errors, is what makes the 1970 penny such a valuable collectible today. The 1971 cent penny was minted during a time of significant change in the mint's practices. The Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint were the primary facilities involved in producing coins during this era, with both mint marks being present on the 1970 penny. However, it wasn't the standard, error-free pennies that have become the most valuable. In fact, the value of the 1971 cent penny is primarily tied to a rare mint error that occurred during its production. The error involves a double die obverse variety, in which the design elements on the obverse of the coin were struck multiple times, causing the appearance of doubled lettering and doubled dates on the coin. This minting flaw, known as a double die, occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the die, with slight misalignment between the strikes. This results in a doubled effect, where the design is duplicated in a slightly offset manner. On the 1970 penny, this double die error is most noticeable on the date and liberty inscriptions, which appear to be doubled. The 1970 double die penny is an incredibly rare and valuable coin, often fetching prices as high as $135,000 in pristine condition. These coins are highly sought after by collectors because of their rarity, the uniqueness of the era, and the historical significance of the wheat-ear design that would soon be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial. The 1971-cent penny holds significant collector appeal for several reasons. Firstly, it's part of the wheat-ear design, which was phased out in favor of the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. As a result, the 1970 penny is one of the last coins to feature this classic design, making it a historically important piece for numismatists who collect coins from different eras. However, it's the double die error that truly elevates the 1970 penny in terms of value. Error coins have long been prized by collectors because they are often one-of-a-kind pieces that provide insight into the minting process. A double die penny is particularly interesting because it's a tangible example of a mistake in the production process, making it an intriguing piece for those interested in the nuances of coinage. Collectors also appreciate the 1970 penny for its link to American history. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, is an enduring symbol of the nation's values of freedom, unity, and perseverance. Having his image on a coin, especially one with such a significant error, adds to the intrigue and historical weight of the coin. While the face value of the 1970 penny is just 1 cent, its collector value is exponentially higher due to the rarity of the double die error. When the coin was first released in 1970, it circulated like any other penny. At the time, no one could have predicted that some of these coins would one day become valuable collectibles. As the years went by, the 1970 penny became more and more sought after by numismatists and collectors. Over time, the demand for error coins has grown, and the double die variety of the 1970 penny has become one of the most valuable coins in American numismatics. Coins in mint condition, particularly those with the error, can fetch incredible sums at auction, with some examples selling for as much as $135,000. The value of these error coins has continued to rise due to their rarity, historical significance, and the ongoing demand for unique and limited edition pieces. As more and more collectors seek to complete their collections, coins like the 1970 double die penny become increasingly valuable, ensuring that they remain an important part of the coin collecting world for years to come. The 1971-cent penny stands as a testament to the rich history and ongoing allure of American coinage. While its design and composition are relatively simple, the rare double die error has turned it into one of the most sought-after coins in the world. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting to explore the world of numismatics, the 1970 penny serves as a fascinating example of how small details can make a coin not just valuable, but historically significant. As we look to the future, the 1971-cent penny will likely continue to be a cornerstone of coin collections, prized for its rarity, beauty, and connection to American history. For collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike, this humble coin, worth just 1 cent, has proven that even the smallest pieces of currency can carry monumental value. The world of coin collecting is often driven by the discovery of rare and valuable pieces that stand out from the rest. One such coin that has caught the attention of collectors over the years is the 1985 1-cent penny. At first glance, it might seem like just another penny, a humble copper coin worth only 1 cent. But much like its predecessors, the 1985 penny has its own unique story, and in certain conditions, it can fetch an incredible price, with some specimens valued at an astonishing $120,000. How does this relatively ordinary penny achieve such impressive worth? Let's dig deeper into its history, design, and the factors that make it so valuable today. The year 1985 was marked by many significant events in the United States and around the world. Domestically, the country was under the presidency of Ronald Reagan, and the Cold War tensions between the US and the Soviet Union were still prevalent, although signs of a thaw were emerging. Economically, the US was navigating a recovery from the 1981 to 1982 recession, with inflation beginning to stabilize and the job market improving. Coinage, like the rest of the economy, was evolving during this period. The 1985 1-cent penny was produced at a time when the United States was beginning to see a shift away from the traditional copper-heavy coins that had been the hallmark of American currency. While the penny was still primarily composed of copper, zinc had started to play a more prominent role in the alloy, a trend that would only increase in the following decades. This change in composition and the gradual removal of silver and other metals from U.S. coins during the 20th century marked a period of transition in American numismatic history. However, beyond its economic backdrop, the 1985 1-cent penny stands out due to a certain error that occurred during its minting, making it a highly prized piece among collectors, much like its predecessors. The 1985 1-cent penny carries the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, on the obverse front of the coin. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this portrait has graced the penny since 1909, and it remains one of the most recognizable images in American numismatics. In the 1985 penny, Lincoln's left-facing profile is shown, his face etched with great detail, and his famous beard and top hat prominently displayed above Lincoln's image. The word "Liberty" is inscribed, and beneath his portrait, you'll find the phrase, "In God We Trust." To the right of his image, the year 1985 is shown, identifying the specific minting year. The obverse design has remained largely unchanged for over a century, making it a familiar sight on the nation's coins. On the reverse, back, of the 1985 penny, the classic wheat stalks design is featured. This design had been used on pennies since 1909, but by 1959, it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse. However, the 1985 penny still features the older wheat ears design, making it part of a limited window of coinage that showcases this iconic symbol of America's agricultural history. The wheat stalks curve around the coin's edge, framing the inscription E pluribus unum and the denomination 1 cent. The reverse design of the penny, though simple, is filled with historical significance, and the connection to the country's early agricultural past makes it an important design in the history of U.S. coinage. While the 1985 penny is visually similar to the pennies of the previous decade, it's the errors that have made this coin particularly valuable to collectors. The 1985 1-cent penny was minted primarily at two locations, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. While the coin's composition remained largely the same as in previous years, the minting process in 1985 saw certain production anomalies that would later drive the coin's value through the roof. In the case of the 1985 penny, the value of the coin is tied to a specific mint error that occurred during production. The most notable error associated with the 1985 penny is the double die obverse. This is a type of minting flaw that happens when a coin is struck more than once by the same die, but with a slight misalignment between the strikes. This misalignment causes the design to appear doubled in certain areas of the coin. The double die error on the 1985 penny can be particularly noticeable in the date and the word "Liberty," both of which appear doubled in the affected coins. This error, though not extremely common, was found in a number of 1985 pennies, and the doubled effect adds a level of rarity and intrigue that collectors find incredibly appealing. These double die pennies are rare, and the 1985 penny featuring this error can fetch high prices at auction, especially when the coin is in excellent condition. It's not unusual for these rare specimens to sell for as much as $120,000 depending on their quality and specific features. Underscore 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 underscore. The appeal of the 1985 1-cent penny lies in a few key factors. Firstly, the coin's design and connection to Abraham Lincoln are central to its collector value. Lincoln's image on the penny has made the coin a symbol of American history, and for numismatists, any variation of this design is of great interest. Secondly, the wheat ears reverse makes the 1985 penny especially valuable. While the Lincoln Memorial reverse would eventually replace the wheat stalks on the penny, the design's historical significance remains. The 1985 penny offers collectors a glimpse into a transitionary period in American coinage, as the wheat design was just about to be phased out completely. However, the true appeal of the 1985 penny is in its mint error, the double die obverse. Mint errors are highly prized by collectors because they are rare and often represent unique mistakes in the production process. The 1985 double die penny is a prime example of how something as simple as a misaligned strike can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into an extraordinary piece of history. The 1985 penny is sought after not just for its rarity, but also for the fact that it represents a glimpse into the past of American coinage. Collectors and investors alike appreciate the fact that this coin, with its unique error, is part of the legacy of U.S. currency that has evolved over the years. The 1985 penny, like many collectible coins, started its life as a simple circulating coin. But over time, the recognition of its rarity, especially the double die obverse variety, has caused its value to rise dramatically. Initially, these pennies weren't seen as anything special, and they circulated alongside countless other coins of the era. As time went on, however, collectors began to notice the error coins, and the 1985 double die penny started to gain attention. The demand for these rare specimens grew, and the coin's value began to increase steadily. Today, a well-preserved 1985 penny featuring the double die obverse can command prices up to $120,000, a far cry from its original 1-cent face value. The rarity of the 1985 penny and its mint error have made it a sought-after piece for collectors around the world. As more collectors and investors enter the market, the value of these double die pennies is likely to continue climbing, ensuring that the 1985 penny remains a coveted item in the world of numismatics. The 1985 1-cent penny is a remarkable example of how something as simple as a small coin can hold significant value in the world of coin collecting. Whether due to its unique design, its place in history, or the rare mint error, this penny has become a symbol of what makes coin collecting such a fascinating and rewarding hobby. For collectors and investors, the 1985 penny is a gem in their collections, and its value will likely continue to rise as more people discover its rarity and historical significance. When it comes to rare coins that have captured the attention of collectors, the 1988 1-cent penny stands out. It may appear to be just another coin from the late 20th century, but a closer examination reveals that it possesses some unique qualities that set it apart from others. Much like other pennies, it carries the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, but there's more to the 1988 penny than meets the eye. This coin, especially in certain conditions, can command an impressive price, sometimes reaching as high as $115,000 for the rarest of specimens. How does a simple penny, with a face value of just 1 cent, become so valuable? What makes the 1988 penny special in the world of numismatics? To understand its value, we must first dive into its historical background, its design, the minting process, and, of course, the errors that have made this coin a sought-after treasure for collectors. The year 1988 was a momentous one in both U.S. history and global events. In the United States, Ronald Reagan was serving his second term as president, and the Cold War, though still ongoing, was beginning to show signs of thawing. The 1988 U.S. presidential election loomed on the horizon, with George H. W. Bush running as the Republican candidate. In terms of economics, the country was experiencing a period of economic prosperity. The stock market was rising, unemployment was low, and inflation was under control. For everyday Americans, however, the 1988 1-cent penny wasn't necessarily something they would have given much thought. The penny continued to circulate as it always had, serving its purpose in small transactions and remaining a humble part of American currency. But for coin collectors, 1988 marked a year when the penny, like other coins of the time, began to take on a more collectible significance. While many of these coins were in circulation, certain variations, mint errors, and rare conditions would soon spark the interest of numismatists. These aspects would help propel the 1988 penny into the spotlight. As with most modern U.S. pennies, the design of the 1988 1-cent penny features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, front, side. The Lincoln portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, has been a fixture on the penny since its introduction in 1909, making it one of the longest-standing designs in U.S. coinage. On the 1988 penny, the image of Lincoln remains in the familiar left-facing profile, with his signature beard and stovepipe hat. Above Lincoln's head is the inscription, Liberty, which signifies the nation's commitment to freedom, while below his portrait is the phrase, In God We Trust, affirming the nation's religious heritage. The year 1988 appears to the right of Lincoln's image, marking the coin's production year. While the obverse design has remained largely unchanged for decades, the reverse side of the 1988 penny was just entering the last few years of the wheat stalks design before it would be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial. The reverse of the 1988 penny features the iconic wheat ears design, with two stalks of wheat framing the inscription E pluribus unum and the denomination 1 cent. The wheat stalks design, used on pennies from 1909 to 1958, holds a significant place in American numismatic history. It symbolizes the nation's agricultural roots and pays homage to the industrious farmers who helped shape the country's growth and prosperity. For collectors, this design adds an extra layer of value to the 1988 penny, as it's part of a relatively short-lived window before the Lincoln Memorial reverse design would dominate U.S. pennies. The design of the 1988 penny is simple, yet it carries layers of historical significance. However, it's not just the design that makes this penny valuable, it's the minting process and the rare errors that make certain 1988 pennies highly sought after. The 1988 1-cent penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. By this time, the U.S. Mint had already begun experimenting with different compositions, transitioning away from the heavy use of copper and incorporating zinc into the alloy. The 1988 penny was primarily composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a mixture that would remain the standard for the penny for many years. Despite its seemingly ordinary composition, the 1988 penny became noteworthy for several minting errors. These errors, which occurred during the production process, are some of the primary factors that have driven up the value of the 1988 penny in recent years. One of the most prominent errors associated with the 1988 penny is the double die obverse. This occurs when the coin is struck by a die more than once, causing the design to appear doubled in certain areas. In the case of the 1988 penny, the doubled features are often visible in the date and the word Liberty, making it easily recognizable for collectors who are searching for such anomalies. While this error is not as common as some others, it's highly prized among numismatists because it adds rarity and uniqueness to the coin. A double die obverse penny from 1988 can fetch prices that far exceed its face value, sometimes reaching as much as $115,000 or more, depending on the condition and degree of the error. Another error associated with the 1988 penny is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned with the die during the minting process, causing the design to be shifted off-center. These off-center pennies are rare, and collectors often prize them for their unusual appearance and production flaws. What makes the 1988 1-cent penny so appealing to collectors? The combination of the double die obverse error, the historical context of the coin, and the wheat stalks reverse design all contribute to its value in the world of numismatics. For collectors, the 1988 penny represents more than just a coin, it's a piece of American history. The Lincoln portrait is a symbol of the country's past, and the wheat ears reverse takes collectors back to a time when the nation was heavily agricultural. As such, even a regular 1988 penny carries intrinsic historical value. However, it's the errors that really set the 1988 penny apart from others. Mint errors like the double die obverse and off-center strikes are highly sought after because they are rare and often unique to individual coins. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is a key driver of value, and any coin that deviates from the norm is bound to attract the attention of collectors. The value of the 1988 1-cent penny has steadily risen over the years, driven by its rarity and the appeal of its mint errors. As collectors have become more aware of the double die obverse and other anomalies, demand for the coin has increased. Though the penny's face value remains just 1 cent, the 1988 penny in excellent condition, especially with noticeable mint errors, can fetch substantial sums at auctions and through private sales. Depending on the coin's condition, the 1988 penny can be worth anywhere from a few $100s to as much as $115,000 for the rarest of examples. These prices have only continued to rise, driven by the ongoing interest in collecting and investing in rare and valuable coins. The 1988 1-cent penny is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can become a valuable collector's item. Its connection to American history, its iconic design featuring Abraham Lincoln, and the rare mint errors that occurred during its production have all contributed to its appeal. For collectors and investors, the 1988 penny is more than just a coin, it's a piece of the nation's history that continues to appreciate in value as time goes on. As we continue our exploration of valuable U.S. coins, we come to the 1995 1-cent penny. It may seem like a simple and unassuming coin, but for collectors, it holds a special place in the world of numismatics. The 1995 penny, much like the 1988 penny, may seem like just another issue in a long line of circulating coins. However, it carries with it a story of rarity, unique minting circumstances, and the key characteristics that have helped push its value to impressive heights. While pennies generally aren't known for being high-value coins, this particular penny, along with others from the 1990s, has garnered attention for specific errors and the historical context in which it was produced. Today, we're going to dive deep into the 1995 1-cent penny, its design, its minting process, the errors that have made it a prized piece for collectors, and, of course, the impressive value it holds today. The 1995 1-cent penny was minted during a year when the U.S. was experiencing significant political and economic changes. In the 1990s, the country was still recovering from the economic recession of the early part of the decade. However, by 1995, the economy was in a period of growth, with the Clinton administration focusing on policies of fiscal responsibility and economic expansion globally. The 1995 penny was minted at a time when the world was entering the age of the Internet. The World Wide Web was just beginning to take off, and companies like Amazon and eBay were in their infancy. For many, the 1995 penny was just another coin they carried in their pocket or used in transactions, but for those in the world of coin collecting, this particular penny would soon become something much more valuable. In terms of the U.S. Mint, 1995 was a year of continued production of standard coins that were widely used in everyday commerce. However, as with many years of coin production, certain minting errors would lead to the 1995 penny becoming a sought-after treasure in the world of numismatics. Much like the 1988 1-cent penny, the design of the 1995 penny is consistent with the classic image of Abraham Lincoln that has been featured on the U.S. penny for more than a century. The Lincoln portrait, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, remains the central focus of the obverse front of the coin. Lincoln's well-known profile is captured in left-facing relief, his beard, and his iconic stovepipe hat clearly visible. Surrounding the portrait are the words, "Liberty," at the top, "In God We Trust," to the right, and the year of minting, 1995, to the bottom right. On the reverse side, we find the Lincoln Memorial, which had been in use since 1959. The memorial design features a detailed depiction of the monument, with the inscription E pluribus unum above and the words 1 cent below, accompanied by 2 olive branches that frame the design. The Lincoln Memorial reverse is a significant part of the penny's history, and by 1995, it was one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage. While the design remains familiar and unchanged from previous years, it is important to note that in 2009, the U.S. Mint would release new penny designs to mark the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. But for now, the 1995 penny still carries the classic memorial reverse. Though the 1995 penny may seem simple, it became famous due to a few unique circumstances during its production. The minting process itself was standard, with coins being struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. As with most modern pennies, The composition of the 1995 1-cent penny consisted of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a formula that had been in use since 1982. This composition gave the coin its familiar reddish hue and contributed to its overall durability. However, the real story behind the 1995 penny lies in the minting errors that would emerge in certain batches. These errors, while relatively rare, have led to significant value for the right specimens. One of the most significant errors associated with the 1995 penny is the double die obverse error. This occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the same die, creating a double impression of the design. In the case of the 1995 penny, the double die obverse error typically appears in the year 1995 and the word liberty. These doubled features are clearly visible to the naked eye and have become a key identifying mark for this particular error. Coins with this error are particularly valuable because of the rarity and the level of craftsmanship required for such an anomaly to occur. Mint errors are one of the primary ways that otherwise common coins become extremely valuable, and the 1995 double die obverse penny is a perfect example of this phenomenon. Additionally, there are reports of off-center strikes for the 1995 penny, which adds another layer of rarity and collectability to the coin. These errors occur when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a design that is off-center and not fully struck. These coins are also highly sought after by collectors, as they represent an interesting quirk in the minting process. The 1995 penny has garnered considerable interest from coin collectors due to its rarity and the fact that certain minting errors make it stand out in the world of U.S. currency. For collectors, finding an error coin like the double die obverse penny or an off-center strike penny is an exciting event. These errors are proof of how imperfection can create value in the world of coin collecting. The 1995 1-cent penny appeals to collectors in several key ways. 1. Historical significance. The 1995 penny was minted during an important period in U.S. history, when the country was experiencing both political change and economic prosperity. For those collecting coins from specific years, the 1995 penny serves as an important piece of the puzzle. 2. Mint errors. As discussed, mint errors are a major driver of value for this penny. The double die obverse and off-center strikes add significant worth to certain examples, making them highly desirable among collectors. 3. Classic design. The Lincoln portrait and Lincoln memorial reverse continue to resonate with collectors, representing the nation's history and its enduring respect for Abraham Lincoln. 4. Rarity. As with many coins, the more rare a specimen is, the more valuable it becomes. Because 1995 pennies with mint errors are not commonly found in circulation, they have become highly valuable to collectors and investors alike. The 1995 1-cent penny has seen its value rise steadily over time. When it was first minted, the coin was no different than any other penny in circulation. However, as coin collectors and investors have discovered the unique errors and features of the 1995 penny, its value has increased significantly. Today, a 1995 penny in excellent condition without errors might still be worth only its face value, or possibly a small premium. However, for coins that exhibit the double die obverse error or off-center strikes, the value can soar to $115,000 or even higher in some cases. This increase in value is driven by demand from collectors seeking to complete their collections with mint error specimens, and as time goes on, the rarity of these coins only increases. The 1995 penny is a perfect example of how minor errors in production can lead to immense value for coin collectors. It serves as a reminder that sometimes, it's the imperfections that make a coin truly special. The 1995 1-cent penny may seem like an ordinary piece of currency at first glance, but as we've seen, it carries with it a wealth of history, design, and errors that make it a highly prized coin among collectors. From the iconic Lincoln portrait to the unique minting errors, the 1995 penny offers collectors a piece of U.S. history that continues to appreciate in value over time. As we move forward in our coin journey, we will explore the next valuable piece, the 1995 1-cent penny. Stay tuned to discover even more about this fascinating and valuable coin. The 2014 1-cent penny may seem like a modern and typical coin in the grand history of U.S. currency, but it holds a unique place in the world of numismatics. While most people may think of the penny as just another small denomination coin, this particular year holds significance due to both the changing nature of coin production and a few surprising discoveries made by collectors. In this part of our journey, we'll explore the 2014 1-cent penny in great detail, discussing its historical context, design elements, the unique minting process it went through, and most importantly, how it became one of the most sought-after pennies in the collector world. By the end of this section, you'll understand why the 2014 penny is worth more than you might think. And yes, this coin is currently valued at an impressive $92,000, making it a truly remarkable find for any serious numismatist. By the time 2014 rolled around, the U.S. economy had been experiencing gradual recovery after the global financial crisis of 2007 to 2008. Under the administration of President Barack Obama, the country was working toward stabilizing its economy, and the penny was still a relevant part of the monetary system, even though there had been ongoing debates about whether the 1-cent coin should be discontinued due to its low purchasing power. Despite these debates, the 2014 penny continued to be minted in large numbers, just like its predecessors. The U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies each year to fulfill the demand for small change in the economy. The 2014 penny, like most other modern pennies, was primarily produced in Philadelphia and Denver, and it was distributed widely for general use. In addition to its use in everyday transactions, the 2014 penny is also significant because of the public discourse surrounding the future of low-value coins like the penny. Many people question the necessity of continuing to mint such small denomination coins, especially given the rising costs of production. Yet, while discussions around the penny's future continued, the 2014 1-cent penny would go on to become a treasure for collectors, showing that even the most humble coins can have immense value. The 2014 penny retained the iconic design that has become synonymous with the coin's rich history. The obverse front of the coin features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which has been a part of the penny's design since 1909. The Lincoln portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, captures the president in left-facing profile with his beard and stovepipe hat. The inscription, "Liberty," is located at the top, while "In God We Trust" is found to the right of Lincoln's image. The year of minting, 2014, appears near the bottom right. On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial continues to grace the design. The memorial reverse has been used since 1959, honoring Lincoln's legacy and the iconic monument dedicated to him. The reverse also features the inscription "E pluribus unum" at the top, along with the words 1 cent below. However, unlike the 1959 to 2008 version of the reverse, in 2010, the U.S. Mint began producing the penny with a new shield reverse design as part of a broader set of changes to U.S. coinage. The shield design, showing a shield with a banner reading "E pluribus unum," was intended to symbolize the nation's strength and unity. The 2014 penny marked the fourth year of this new design, which would continue until 2021. Despite the relatively simple design of the 2014 penny, it was still an important piece of U.S. coinage, especially because of its connection to both the Lincoln Memorial and the shield reverse, two of the most iconic symbols of American history. The 2014 penny, like other pennies of the modern era, was minted using a combination of zinc and copper. The composition was a typical mixture of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, a formula that was first introduced in 1982. The coin's metallic composition gave it a distinctive yellowish appearance, which has since become a hallmark of modern pennies. While the 2014 penny did not experience the same degree of error or anomaly that some other years of pennies did, it is still significant because of its role in the ongoing conversation about the future of U.S. coinage. Additionally, certain specimens of the 2014 penny exhibited slight variations in color and strikes due to the unique characteristics of each individual minting process. Collectors have found that certain 2014 pennies, particularly those with unusual toning or near-perfect condition, are valued higher than typical pennies. This is because coins that are in better condition, with clear, sharp details, are considered more desirable. Furthermore, the 2014 penny, due to its relative modernity, was still commonly found in circulation and in everyday transactions, but as with all coins, specimens with specific features are of greater interest to collectors, though it may seem counterintuitive that a modern coin like the 2014 penny could be worth so much. Its current value can be explained by several factors. First, rarity plays a key role in the rising value of this penny. While the 2014 penny was minted in large quantities, certain specimens have garnered significant attention due to their rarity in terms of minting errors or near-perfect conditions. Second, the market for collectible coins is always evolving. As more people become aware of the increasing scarcity of certain coins, their value increases. Even though the 2014 penny was mass-produced, certain unique examples have been found in near-flawless condition, and these have become highly valuable among collectors. Finally, the debate surrounding the future of the penny has contributed to the coin's appeal. As the U.S. Mint faces growing pressure to discontinue low-value coins, such as the penny, collectors have begun to speculate about the long-term availability of such coins. This, in turn, has caused a rise in demand for particular pennies, including the 2014 1-cent. Collectors are drawn to the 2014 penny for several reasons. Most notably, it represents the last years of the Lincoln Memorial design and a period when the U.S. Mint continued to mint pennies with the traditional copper-zinc mixture. Additionally, near-perfect specimens, those with high quality, rare minting variations, and low mintage numbers, are highly coveted in the coin collecting community. Another important factor is that the 2014 penny is from a time when the debate over the penny's future was still fresh and ongoing. This gives it a unique place in history as a coin minted during a period of uncertainty for the penny's future. As the penny's production continues to decline, collectors may view the 2014 penny as an important symbol of the coin's final years. While the 2014 1-cent penny may not have the same long-standing history as the 1893 penny or the 1909 Lincoln wheat penny, it still holds its own place in the world of numismatics. With its unique design, historical context, and rarity, the 2014 penny has earned a place among some of the most valuable modern coins in the world. At a current value of $92,000, this coin serves as a reminder that even the most common of U.S. coins can become an important piece of American history. As the penny's future continues to be debated, the 2014 penny will undoubtedly remain a reminder of a time when the penny was still a vital part of the U.S. economy and currency system. As we wrap up our look at this fascinating and valuable coin, it's clear that the 2014 penny, along with the others in this video, has a rich story to tell. A story that will continue to grow as it becomes more scarce and more desirable over time.